My name is Anton Kotte. I lost 3 of my kids in the disaster with the MH17. My oldest son, Oscar, his wife, Miranda, and our youngest grandchild, Remco. I ran to the television and I saw there was already a live broadcasting by the Dutch News Association that MH17 was shot down in the east of Ukraine. And we immediately realized our kids were in that plane.
A Malaysia Airlines flight crashed in eastern Ukraine near the Russian border just hours ago. Ukrainian officials say it may have been shot down, possibly by Russian-made weapons.
Flight MH17 had taken off from Amsterdam, heading to the Malaysian capital, Kuala Lumpur. It disappeared from radar screens 4 hours later over the village of Grabovo.
The coming up days were very confusing to us because you do hope the flight was overbooked, so they had passed the flight to another flight, but nevertheless, that was not the reality. And we had a lot of problems to get information from the airlines, from the Dutch Minister of Justice and Security about the passengers list. There was no passengers list. And at the end, I called Malaysian Airlines myself on Friday night. And in 5 minutes, I got the right answer that I knew they were on board of that plane.
That journey tragically ended here, in a field in eastern Ukraine, in territory held by pro-Russian separatists. All 298 people on board lost their lives, most of them Dutch, and as many as 80 children.
Now, after years of investigations, a court here in the Netherlands is determined to find out what exactly happened on that fateful day in 2014, and also who is responsible. Evidence points to a Buk anti-aircraft system which was moved from Russia into rebel territory, controlled by pro-Russian separatists.
Well, I do hope that the judge in the Netherlands will come to a verdict, And that verdict, guilty or not guilty, will be the start of on a new political level that our Dutch country can make in the world. You see what they did, so there we have to count with it. And I'm not so interested in those four suspects, but because those 4 are the people of the mid-level, But we have also the people on the top level, the politician, and the people on the spot, the lower level, And I do hope that this verdict will help that the politics people can make acquaintance again about this verdict worldwide to get the higher pressure to Russia, to the Russian Federation, of course. And on the other hand, we already knew that the public prosecutor is still investigating to look for more persons who are accountable for this whole disaster. And they have already names, but the problem is they can't prove it. Our Prime Minister, Mr. Mark Rutte, has always said, the top of my list to do is MH17, and he's still Prime Minister, and he will be hopes to Prime Minister again next year. So we have a lot of support from the Prime Minister, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and the Minister of Justice and Safety. And those 3, we have to make a phone call and it will be arranged. If you want to manage a new activity, we immediately get all the guts to do that, financial or with the support from the national government. But what it has to do with foreign affairs, for instance, then we have to deal with many other interests. We have a lot of common in this whole disaster, because both we have to do with a war situation. With a different outcome, but it's in the basic, it's the same, Hammond. And that bothers me because I can't realize that today it's possible that they shoot out an airplane with passengers in it, but has no any part in a war situation. I was so astonished that there are still leaders in the world who don't perceive to be leader of a country, you know, because they had different goals and had nothing to do for their own people. They only want more power for themselves, you know. I would like to read a Dutch poem for the next of kin in Canada and their victims. So near, but so far away. No, parting you do not. As long as we are here, you will stay. Parting is not sneaking out of the house, closing the door softly behind your existence and not returning. You are staying because you are expected. Your parting we consist as staying. We are not waiting for you because you are still there. Nobody says goodbye because you are not leaving. That's what I want to say to you and all the next of kin to the tribute to your victims.